Hi, my name is Sam, and this is a video where I'm going to just try to document the process uh, that I'm hoping to find assistance with. I made a few videos, and then when I re-listened to them, they sounded very scattered, not focused, and I didn't like the sound of them, so I just deleted them. And I'm not sure how to go about properly presenting the situation, but I'll just go ahead and throw it out there as my original plan. So for instance, I'm seeking people that understand basics of working in a step-by-step manner. So for instance, virtually we have to establish standing, and even the words themselves, a lot of people have different ideas with regard to meaning. For that purpose, we do a very pedantic step-by-step process. We define the word, and in that process, we establish links. So for instance, if I'm going to define reconcile, I would expect to be able to click and go to the place where we have an explicit indication, define reconcile, and then the definition, and then reconcile defined. Now, as simple as that sounds, I've got events here that two people have already indicated through their documentation of the event that they did that, so, but there's no definition. So oftentimes people will say they did something, and then the question is, well, if they're going to spend the time to show me, at what point can I just say, no, show me through your work, allow your work to speak for yourself? And in that sense, we can use hyperlinks. You expect to be able to just follow the path. So we're going to make an audit traceable path for the efforts of whoever's doing any work. So we're going to define reconcile. I'm going to perform that presently, and it doesn't exist as a document. So we document it through the actions we take. We post it to the calendar. This one is a prior event. It says here that I'm defining the name rather than the word. So that's a problem, because there's a distinction between the word and the name. And if I have the path, I should be able to just click and follow it, which I don't have. So now I'll look at the other entries and see if they have a document attached indicating that they've gone through the steps to indicate the beginning and the end of the process. And if we were to do this with an accounting transaction or a service call or any compliance testing, we would expect there to be a point at which we say we're going to perform that test. We arrive at the site. We show the equipment as we find it. We bring out the equipment that's necessary to perform the task, and then the parameters or the variables that change, we fill in the forms that were already provided. Hopefully, administrative assistants would do that. Provide reports so that a technician could go out and just do the work. Doesn't happen. None of these has an event, and this is going back to August. So we've got August, December, and this is the order to which we've put time towards this, and I'm guilty of it as well. So I'm not just trying to look for fault or a failure in the system. I'm trying to find a solution that would allow me to indicate these are the steps, do this, and there, I'll pay you. So the action's got to be a workflow that shows step-by-step how to do whatever the task is. There's hundreds or more of different types of transactions, so it becomes overwhelming, and just to make it overly simplified is not going to work either. Now, we're going to give name to all these things that we do, so when we take an action, there should be a list, and there's going to be a list of the actions that we're involved with performing. We're going to have a clear point of where we begin that, and then we follow the steps. But with each step, we want to have the capability of entering at any point in the transaction and being able to trace or vouch from that point forward. So the name list should be here. In this case, we'll put reconcile here. And when we define the word, it alters the construct from being a word to being a name. I'm going on a basis that I've just discovered they do have the calculus of language that appears to be pointing in the same direction that I'm describing, which is we go from nothing to a point, and the point's purpose is to bring attention to a focal point. But the focal point is at the base. There's not a thing there, so it's more of the relation of nothing and something. But the purpose is to bring relation, and then that point can be added to other points so that we have graphemes, and those form symbols that are tokens for the meaning they ascribe. And then those are agreed to be grouped in alphabet or abjad into writing systems. And then these writing symbols, these letters, contain messages, and the messages are grouped together to form words. And these words form to identify meaning. And then the meaning, once it's ascribed, is the definition phase allows it to be used as a name. But in all of those steps, you'll find divergence from people's relation to what they attribute as the valuation of the meaning. In order to bring some kind of convergence, I'd like to go back to that nothing to something focus, and then from there define the words on a basis of what the consensus defined term is, and then use it in the construct of the system that I need help with. So to reconcile, we're going to be looking at establishing a document where we define the word. We're going to reuse an existing document so that we inherit the different links. And we're going to have a typecast of define word. That's a group of all the efforts where we define words. And then there's going to be the directive where we define a word as a specific action. And then we have the word that we're defining. So there should be two more layers at this point. So here's the typecast, define word. Here's the effort where we have the named effort to define the word. And then we will define reconcile in that process.